Today we're going to be answering the age-old question, is the brand new Football Manager worth it? Now, a lot of people thought FM24 will not be worth it. There is a massive new game update coming in FM25, which the whole team at SI and Miles have said is going to be basically a whole new game. So is FM24 even going to be worth buying? It's 35 quid. It's quite expensive for a game which pretty much has a data update every single year. However, this year, that is not the case. There is truly some groundbreaking developments that have been made to the AI, to the match engine, and not even in this massive list here of 8 different deep dives are they there. Some of them are hidden deep in the paragraphs where you might not have even seen these brand new features. So today we're going to break it all down and go through 10 brand new features which are absolutely massive in the new game of FM24. In just the very first feature reveal that FM did a few weeks back, there is a couple of diamonds in this section. Now, number one for me is variations to player development. This one is absolutely massive. How often do you see a 16-year-old break out and become a superstar? Lamine Yamal. It is also possible for a 24-year-old to come out and be an absolute superstar, like Jesse Lingard, on loan at clubs in League One and in the Championship, and eventually goes on to score the winning goal in an FA Cup final. It happens, and it's great to see FM are going to be finally adding that into the game as well. And second of all, on this one is balancing the books. Now, it's possible to start a transfer window or to start a brand new save with a negative transfer budget, and you might have a week or 2 weeks to get that back to being positive, or they're going to start selling your star players or your wonder kids, and no one wants to see that. And again, it's a massive new addition to the game. We've got teams like Chelsea pretty much smashing through FFP and somehow surviving on it, but FFP is going to be massive this year as well. But this whole negative transfer budget thing is going to be very challenging and very, very fun, because I mean, a lot of you guys start sort of journeyman saves at the start, and you might join a club and their finances look okay, but you go in a minus 500k wage budget in the second tier of Iceland, you're absolutely screwed. They're going to sell all your players, and it was actually a horrendous move, and as a manager, you've got to do what's right for you and build the team back to where they were. Now, I'm going to be doing something very similar on this year's Football Manager. In fact, I'm doing something that's never been done before. I'm going to be completing Football Manager. Now, for the last iteration of a 20-year cycle, I've decided my task this year is going to be to win every single first division league on the vanilla base of the game. That sounds absolutely outrageous. It's going to be in one massive save. We're going to start as a manager in the lowest playable nation, build our way up to the very top. And if you guys want to come along that journey, just smash the subscribe button and the like button down below, because that is going to be coming a couple of videos probably every single week on that one. It's going to be no set schedule, just when I play and when I win the league with the Thailand League, I suppose, will be quite early on. That'll be coming out on YouTube. So I'm excited to bring that out. It's going to be a bit similar to sort of a Glory Hunter vibe, but it's going to be every single top nation. There is 66, I believe, now with the addition of Gibraltar and Japan. So that is going to be unbelievable fun. So make sure you subscribe to the channel for that one. The biggest thing in the second deep dive for me was evolving the squad with new intermediaries. Now, how often do you have a player or two that are absolute deadwood in your squad and are never going to get game time? You offer them out for £0, even though they're worth £30 million, and you cannot get a single penny for them. Well, hopefully this year that is going to be much easier to do, because there's now going to be intermediaries in the sort of game where you could offer players out and they'll come back with different offers from different clubs, and it'll make the whole process hopefully much easier. I believe you can sort of set a commission structure that the intermediary will get. So you got here Chris Lancaster at Watford, you're trying to sell for, it's got a value of 275k. There's 2 transfer offers of 240k. I guarantee you, if this guy was deadwood, you wouldn't be able to get a single penny for him last year. And you can see as well, the intermediary will get 2% of the commission for his work. So it's, you know, it might take a little bit of your transfer profit away, but it's going to be so helpful for clearing deadwood in your club. Now, this whole section is awesome. It is so fun to be able to set players' targets and goals for the season. You've got a player that's a squad player, and you know you can set him in the contract for next year. He's going to be an important player. Well, actually, son, you've got to score 20 goals this season in the limited appearances you'll get as a squad player to become that important player. Now, that is absolutely massive. You know, you can sort of set different goals for players on a spreadsheet, and off the game, you can do that in your own head. You might say to yourself, Serge Matip, who's on loan at Brighton, I need you to go out there and get 10 goals, and next season you can actually, you know, come into the first 11, and that's all in your head. But now it's actually going to be there in FM, and you can create more relationships with players, which is absolutely massive. And you can see like the sort of example I just come up with here, the regen Joel Albuquerque to to become an important first team player. He scored 15 goals this season as a regular starter, and that is absolutely massive. It's going to quite literally change how you can sign players. You can promise them much better things. So if they fail to do it, you are no longer obliged to give your promise to a new contract. How often do you get stung by offering someone a brand new contract and they are just not good enough for you? You've told them they'll get a brand new one, but you're stung and you can't do anything. Well, guess what? This year, if they've not been good enough, if you've made the promise that that is what they have to do and they don't do it, they've got no leg to stand on. Your squad is not going to be a million times more angry at you because an absolute dead baller wants a brand new contract. I cannot wait to start making tactics for FM24 because positional play is finally in the game. We have new positions. We have the inverted fullback on support, which means we can have a centre-back as a libero in a 2, and that libero can move up into the DM role like John Stones, and your right back, your inverted fullback in Carl Walker will cover in and you'll make a 3-back and you'll make a 3-2-4-1, and that is finally in the game, and it is absolutely massive. And I think you've all seen this little clip here. I'll play it through anyway so you can see we've got the back 3 here because that man there, John Stones, has pushed up into being that centre-back. Your right back has pushed into being the right centre-back, which is helpful. And again, you can see the nice little link-up play. Again, it's just a very nice little bit of a change into the game, and it makes an absolutely massive difference. And you can see the beautiful goal that Man City are eventually not going to score because they're absolutely rubbish. And it's all about your legends, Manchester United. But absolutely massive to have the inverted fullback in the game. Is quite literally going to level up the experience of making tactics and give you much more fluidity in what you want, an attacking tactic and defensive tactic. We're not quite there just yet, but we're nearly there, and even FM have called it the John Stones role. And finally, the holy grail, the set pieces refresh. We have been asking for this for many, many years. Set pieces have needed to be buffed on FM for a long time because quite simply you can just aim a front post corner or you can aim a far post corner and you'll score 34 goals of Rafa Varane in one season, and that's boring, but it's in the game and it's quite hard not to sort of manipulate. Whereas this year they have made massive changes to set pieces, and they've also brought in a brand new set piece coach as well, which is absolutely massive. I think that's just quite a cool thing to add in. So what you can do is you can do zonal marking, player marking, and hybrid for your defensive sort of layout. You can aim it at the both posts, near posts. What posts do you want defending? Near posts, both posts, or no posts? How many players do you want leaving defending? Do you want to counter attack, or do you want to be defending the box, or do you want to go balanced? And then in terms of where you're going to deliver the ball, near post, central, and far post. And then how many players you want to leave back for defending, defend transition, stay high or balanced. And in terms you want an in-swinger or out-swinger, which again is brand new. And there's a lot more different positions now as well you can have in the box. You've got aerial threat, which is your big man, your Van Dijk. Your box threat, which might be your Julian Alvarez. Your recovery defender, which could be your Carl Walker. And your creator, so someone on the edge of the box that if it falls out to, they can whip it in. As an example, we'll go Ericsson on that one if, Mount's taking the corner or whatever. You've got a bunch of different positions now, which is awesome. You can also actually assign it to different ratings. So for the aerial defender, you got jumping, strength, and positioning. For the trackers, they'll be simple with speed, and for the counter attackers, again, it'll be speed and probably composure to give you a better sort of understanding. And it's now not done on player; it's done on position, and you can make a massive ranking on your whole squad on who is going to be standing where, and that is absolutely massive. And then in terms of throw-ins as well, who'd have thought we'd have brand new throw-ins on this year's FM? Well, guess what? You can keep possession, you can do a long throw, and you can actually set that. So if you're trying to make a high possession tactic, all you want to do is always keep it as work it into the box or keep possession if you're further back. If you're looking to try and score goals and you've got a big man up top, throw it in the box, and again, you can set up that same sort of go forward, attack near post, aerial threat, box threat vibe, which is absolutely fantastic. And there's a massive, massive difference to the game because set pieces have needed to be refreshed for years. And to be honest, for me, this makes it alone 100 times worth buying FM24. That's pretty much it for the absolutely massive brand new features that they have brought in. There's a few other little ones which are quite cool. We've got the sort of brand new setup modes. You can do the real world, you can do your world, or you can do original, which is quite cool. The real world is players will start at their clubs that they were at the start of their day of their career. They will then move to their clubs on the date they did in real life, which is quite cool if you're starting like a rebuild like I do. If there was someone signed on deadline day or quite late on in the window, it means that they'll actually come through and start training the club like they did in real life, which is awesome. Your world club, squads and budgets will be accurate as the start of the 23-24 season with no real life transfers reflected. So the videos are endless. I mean, I did it better with Manchester United. I signed Kane and Todibo and Frankie de Jong. I mean, the video ideas are endless. What if Harry Kane never left Tottenham Hotspur and stayed there rather than leaving to Bayern Munich? And the original was just a standard way to play FM. Transfers are all done as of the 5th of June or whenever it is you load up the save, which is probably what I will most likely use. But that real world option again is absolutely awesome. And then they've got a couple as well, little quality of life upgrades which they have made. So we've got fixture scheduling, making that a lot better. Attribute changes for staff is good to see. I've just pressed a random button on my PC. Youth system rankings, use last year's code of contact is sick, because how often do you go into that and you accidentally mess that up and you go into a team meeting and they all hate you. Accessibility improvements, manager creation improvements. I mean, we can have some face paint. That is unbelievable. I mean, the important stuff there is the ability A's and the lapel badges, but face paint, you know I'm going to be rocking that American NFL vibe. New hairs as well, which is pretty cool. I mean, we might as well just click through all these, because why not? I mean, we've got a nice little tidy bow on. Why not? We've got the hearing aid, which is awesome to be in the game, and the brand new hairstyles. That's I can't think of who that I'm trying to think of. And we've also got some fresh drip as well. And reviewing your record against your rivals, dynamic manager timeline. I mean, if this is anything like FM23, it's absolutely pointless, because that was absolutely useless. And then the Deep Dive 2 was released just yesterday as I record this, and I'm presuming this is it in terms of updates before hopefully in just about 8 days time we get FM24 and we're going to be absolutely smashing it. I know you guys voted on a beta team for me to start with, and it's going to be Newcastle United. Absolutely buzzing for that one. And then the sort of win every single top division will start once we have the full game. But the beta save is going to be Newcastle, and I'm buzzing for it, because Newcastle is going to be a very, very fun one, and it's a good one that you guys voted for as well. Match preparation, there's a few new sort of training bits you can set up, which is good. Again, little quality of life bits. Match briefing, again, I always just skip through this, so it was never really something that I sort of am interested in. Offer out on loan via the development centre, that is good, because it's often a bit of a pig to have to go and find the individual player. Player swap deals, when you're in the middle of a transfer negotiation looking to add a player to exchange, you have to select someone from a drop down menu rather than to navigate to another screen and manually add them before right clicking. I hardly ever do these, but that is sick that you can now do that rather than having to you click it, you go to the B squad and then you go through it from there, which is long. Overview of other managers per competition, most league title and champion stats, which is going to be great for rebuilds as well, because I can show you some different bits. Fantasy draft improvements, draft is absolutely useless. Competition rules, every year of rule groups, I mean there's loads of different ones in there. Gibraltar is now a default playable nation rather than being downloaded through the Steam Workshop, which is sick. So that and Japan are the two brand new ones. I have made a tweet slating FM for not adding Saudi. It is a massive part of football these days and it's not in the game, which is a little bit mind-boggling, but it is what it is. Yeah, new English work permit system changes, large-scale competition changes, dynamic English youth system whereby a club's youth team will now move up, down youth competition levels based on the club's youth rating. That is very good, because I think like Newcastle have only recently started their youth academy journey, or something like that. I'm thinking of the women's team actually. That might be even wrong. Allow functionality for more hosts, more than 3 hosts to host a tournament. Canadian Premier League stuff. We'll get into that when we get into it. Argentina is a weird old league. There is now an aggregate table for qualification. Argentina is going to be mind-boggling when we get there. And then Malaysia, the new foreign rule in the Super League. So that's going to be one of the first nations I imagine we do, which is going to be great fun. And Miles has said a big cheers. So like I said, November the 6th is when it is out. For me, FM24 is 100 times worth it. I'm a content creator, so of course I am going to say it's worth it. But in terms of if you are a massive FM fan, I think this is the absolute pinnacle of Football Manager. There is going to be nothing better than this for this style of game. Now, I think FM25 is going to be groundbreaking and brand new, and I'm so excited. But there are a lot of people that maybe won't be able to play it due to, so if they make massive graphical updates, and even the UI might be really good for your PC. Like it might be you need a really good PC to even be able to use the UI in it, etc. So it might be that some people are going to get stuck on FM24. So I think FM24 is going to be the game for you. This game is going to be absolutely massive. I would 100% recommend purchasing it. I haven't got a fanatical link or anything like that, but if you guys want to buy FM, go and get it from one of the creators out there. There's a bunch of legends out there, Zealand, Dr. Benji, Lelujo. All of them absolute legends. Go and get it from them, or maybe even someone like Zims as well. Absolute go. So feel free to head over to one of their Fanaticals and get FM. I believe it's 35 quid. I'm going to be getting it through Steam just because I've got 15 quid in my Steam from selling some skins on CSGO. I'm absolutely rambling. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Make sure you buy FM24, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next time.